Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Savannah and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to make these really cute pair of summer shorts. I've seen these shorts all over Pinterest and I think they're so cute and I wanted to show you how to make them. I especially love the red and white stripes, which I will be recreating today. So recently I've made this pair of frilly shorts which I absolutely love and they were quite easy to make. So let me know if you want to see a tutorial on them and I'll definitely be able to make it for you. Let's get on to the video. So for this tutorial I'm going to be using these 3 yarns, and these red ones are actually a 9mm, but I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, and then this yarn is a 4mm. So this makes the red look more chunky, and this is a soft and chunky yarn as well. This is the hook that I'm using. You'll also need a tape measure and then a pair of scissors. So to start this pair of shorts, we're going to be making the waistband first and then working down on the body bit, doing some increases and then separating the legs off. So we're going to be measuring our waist. You want to measure all the way around your waist, and with that measurement you're going to take off 2 inches. So mine was 29, I'm going to make it 27. So that's the chain we're going to be crocheting at the start. So I've just made a slip knot onto my hook and I've decided to use a 6mm while I'm using my red yarn, so it's easier to use, and then I'm going to switch back to a 4mm when I'm using my white yarn. So I'm going to start off by chaining 7, and this can be changed depending on how thick you want your waistband to be. So I've got my 7 chains. Now I'm going to be single crocheting into this first stitch. I'm going to single crochet into every stitch down. So I've made single crochets all the way down that row, and now I'm going to chain 1 and flip my work. Then we're going to be working along this side here, but now we're only going to be crocheting into the back stitch. So I'm going to be doing a single crochet into the back stitch there. So we're only putting our hook through 1 loop, and this creates ridges on our waistband. So into that back loop, into the back loop, so once we finish that row we're going to chain 1 and flip our work. Now we're going to go back to crocheting into 2 stitches, so just like normal, pull through and do a single crochet, and we're going to be alternating from doing both stitches into the back stitch. Flip my work, and then only into the back stitch am I doing a single crochet. So you're going to keep repeating this process and it should look something like this, and you should be able to see the ridges created by alternating between the back stitch and using the normal stitch. So you're going to keep doing this until you have that measurement that you measured on your waist. So I've just made my 27 inches on my waistband. Now this is definitely the type of project where it's best if you keep trying it on compared to your body, as it will be a different size for everyone. So this is slightly less than 27 inches as I've tried it on, and it's quite stretchy. So remember, when you're trying it on, stretch it and then try it on. So now we're going to be making it into a circle like a waistband. So you're going to line up each side and we're going to be slip stitching into this first loop here, wrapping our yarn round, pulling through and then pulling through the bottom loop to slip stitch. So now you're going to line up the next 2 stitches, and with 1 stitch on each side insert your hook, wrap round, pull through them 2 loops and then pull through the bottom loop. So that's your second slip stitch. I'm going to do it for the third stitch. So slip stitch all the way down here, connecting each stitch. So once you've slip stitched each side together, we're going to chain one, and we're going to be starting by making rows downwards and adding increases later on. So go ahead and count how many rows you have. So I have 50 rows. I'm going to be doing a single crochet into each row, including this slip stitch row, all the way around until we get back to the start. So I'm going to insert into my slip stitch row, pull through, wrap round and pull through, insert into the next row, pull through, wrap round, pull through, and into every row you're adding one single crochet. So I'm just finishing off this single crochet row. Now I'm going to slip stitch into that first chain we made, and there is our first row made. Now this for me is where I'm going to be switching colour. So to change my yarn colour, I've done a slip knot onto my hook, and I'm just going to pull this white yarn through this red, making sure to pull the other one tight. So we've got that secured, and then you can go ahead and cut this string. So I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to turn my work, and we're going to be working it in the round. So insert in my hook, and we're just going to do single crochet all the way around this row again. So in the same stitches that you've just made, doing the last single crochet. So when you get to your starting stitch after this row, we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch, and then we're going to chain one to start a new row, and then twist our work, and you can flip it inside out like that. Both of these sides here we're going to be doing increases on. Where you have this tail here from where we first started our project, this indicates to us that this is where we're doing our increase. So an increase is going to be 3 single crochets into that one stitch. So this increases the shorts at our hips. Always keep your work folded like this while you're working. So then on this side here, we've got to do the same amount of increase here. So in this stitch here. So I'm going to be single crocheting all the way up here until we reach that stitch. So I've got to my stitch that is on the fold here. So I'm going to be doing 3 single crochets into this one stitch. You could put stitch markers on each side to remember where your increases are, but I'm just going to notice by folding my work and recognising the 3 stitches. I'm just going to carry on like usual, single crocheting in each stitch along the round. So I've nearly finished this row. And when I reach this point, I'm slip stitching into that chain we did. So here we are, you can slightly see the increases on each side. They leave sort of a triangle shape. So now we're going to be chaining one, and we're going to flip our work. So as we're going this direction, we actually have to increase when we come back round on this side. So we're not increasing into there. We always increase into the second of our previous increase stitch. So the first increase we'll do is where our last increase on this side was, back round and then increase where we did on this side. So I'm going to single crochet up here, so I've reached the stitch where I put my previous increase in the last row, and you're always going to do the next increase in the row that you're on into the second of the previous. So I'm going to single crochet into this stitch, which is the first increase stitch, and when it comes to the second, we're going to do our increase, so our 3 single crochets. And then 1 single crochet into the next, and just single crochet into each one. I'm close to reaching where my beginning stitch was, and we're going to be doing our increase into the second of the previous stitch's increase. So this is the stitch that we're going to be increasing in, just there, and I'm going to do 2 more single crochets. So to finish this row, we're going to be slip stitching into this chain, and there we are, there's our 3rd row. So on both sides you can clearly see where the increases are being placed, and we're just going to keep repeating this pattern. So I'm going to chain 1, flip my work and turn it inside. So we're going to be working over the increase now. So I'm going to insert my hook, single crochet, single crochet, and when we reach the second stitch of our previous increase, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets. And we're going to single crochet until we get to the other side's increase. Do an increase in the second stitch of the previous row's increase. I'm going to be doing a few more rows of this white colour, so it's quite thick stripes, but you could change colour now if you want thinner stripes. Keep remembering to increase on each hip. So I have actually had to do 10 rows of this white colour with single crochet. So now I'm going to be adding my red colour in and switching colours. So I'm going to slip knot onto my hook, and then I'm going to pull this red through the white, and I'm going to pull the white tight. So now you can go ahead and cut the other colours yarn, or you could keep going if you want a bigger stripe. So I'm now going to chain 1, and then I'm going to start single crocheting up here, still doing my increases all the way around, do my increase here, going back to the start, slip stitching, and then chaining 1, twisting my work, and so on. So I'm just going to keep on single crocheting all the way around this row. When I reach the increases, I'm going to increase, and you can keep trying your shorts on just to make sure that's how you want them to look, and you can obviously stop increasing if the hip bits look at the right size. I'm going to keep increasing for a while. So you have to remember that this material is very stretchy, so when you wear them they'll definitely stretch out. So you kind of want them to be a little bit tight fitting, or almost like you're struggling to put them on your waist basically, as they do stretch a lot. So I'm just going to repeat this pattern all the way down until we reach the crotch area. So for reference, on another pair of my shorts, we'll be crocheting down to about here, and then where the legs split off, we'll be doing that after. So the first thing we're going to do is crochet that section, which is what I'm working on now. So single crocheting until we reach our increases, and you can choose when you want to stop increasing by how it fits you. Once you reach the end of your row, we're slip stitching, then we are chaining 1, flipping our work and single crocheting and repeating the process. So guys, it's the next day now and I've completed up to the place where we're going to separate the legs. So today I'm going to be showing you how to separate the legs into 2. As I've just changed the colour of my yarn, now we're going to be counting all of these stitches across the top. So I've counted 88 stitches and I'm going to be dividing this by 4, which gives me 22. So I'm going to single crochet down here until I've got my 22 stitch. So this next bit is going to be where we start to separate the legs, and this is the bit that will be in between the legs. So I'm going to chain 12. And now you're going to count around here and to the middle, so we can stretch this here, and I'm going to count 22 times 2, which is 44. Basically your whole stitch amount divided by 2. So I'm going to count this around here and then single crochet into where the 44th stitch is. So this is my 44th stitch, and I'm just going to do a single crochet into there. So now that I've connected these chains, as you can see there, I'm going to be single crocheting around here, inserting my hook and doing a single crochet in each of these stitches. Make sure you have tried this on to make sure that this is the right time to start making the legs, as it really depends on how it fits you. So I've reached here and I'm nearly at my beginning. So I'm just going to do 2 more single crochets, and we are working on one leg at a time. So I'm just going to slip stitch into here, and then I'm going to be chaining 1 and working back in the round. So I'm going to flip my work and we're going to be working back around this way. So I'm single crocheting up here, and I'll show you how to single crochet through the chain bit. So now that I've reached this chain, I'm just going to be inserting a single crochet into each of these. And we're only working on this leg at the moment. And once we finish this leg, we're going to cut our yarn and reinsert onto the other leg, and basically repeat the same process onto the other leg. But I will also show you how to do that. I'm just going to keep single crocheting in this chain, and once I get to my beginning point, I'm going to slip stitch and chain 1 and then work the other way around until you've got the amount of rows that creates your coloured stripe, or if you're not doing stripes, just creates your length that you want it to be. So I've just slip stitched into the end of our previous row, and now I'm going to chain 1, and I've already flipped my work, so I was working this way, and now I'm going to be working back down this chain and working on the right hand side for the right leg. So just doing single crochets all the way up here. So you're just going to keep on doing this until you have the right amount of stitches and the right amount of rows. So I've just changed my colour to red, and this is probably going to be my last colour change. So for these leg rows, all we're doing is starting our row by single crocheting all the way around, slip stitching, chaining one, and then going the other way round, and just creating as many rows as you need. So I've just finished my right leg. I've tried it on and it fits perfectly. So I'm now just going to go ahead and cut off my yarn and pull it tight. So guys, now I'm going to attach my yarn into where we'd already started before. So I'm just going to do a slip knot onto my hook. So I'm going to pull it through, and then I'm going to single crochet all the way around. And then when we get to this side here, we're just going to single crochet around here. And when we get back to our beginning start, we're going to slip stitch and then chain one and turn the other way around. So I've just attached my red yarn, and I'm just going to be single crocheting like normal, and I'm not increasing anymore, but if you still need to increase, you can do so. I'm going to do this round, come back and slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain one and flip my work when I've done this. And this is my last colour change of yarn. You want to try and make this leg look as symmetrical as you can to the other leg, so they look the same, and yeah, just repeat the process. So guys, I've repeated the same steps on my other leg, and I've just cut off my yarn, and this is how the shorts look. They are so cute. So these are the finished shorts. I'm absolutely obsessed with them. I love them so much. They are perfect for summer or holiday, and they're quite a statement piece of clothing. I hope you like this tutorial. I am actually selling some of these shorts on my Vinted account, which I will leave in the description box, so go and check that out. If you have any requests on tutorials that you'd like to see me do, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching.